From Creamer Media in Johannesburg, this is the Real Economy Report. Clothing retailer Edcon increased its order for cotton lint to 2,200 tons for the next year as part of its commitment to the clothing and textile industry, supporting the industry target of producing 60,000 tons of cotton lint by 2020. Marlene Arnoldi tells us more.
The clothing industry in South Africa hit all-time production lows of only 5,000 tons in 2013, which consequently had the country import 95% of its 315,000 tons per year of cotton lint needs. The industry had since increased production to the current rate of 50,000 tons a year of cotton lint, largely thanks to 200 million rand funding support from the Department of Trade and Industry between 2015 and 2019. Loskop Cotton CEO Joseph Kempen says that currently most of South Africa's cotton is beneficiated, weaved and spinned, in other words, outside of the country. If South Africa were to increase the local beneficiation of cotton to a level where import substitution of 50% is possible on 4 retail items, namely t-shirts, towels, chinos and underwear, then the industry could create 75,000 new jobs and inject 10 billion rand into the economy. Kempen tells us more about the industry that was once the second largest employer in South Africa.
Well, let's look at South Africa now, and let's start at the peak from South African cotton, what was more or less 1988, where we were producing over 400,000 bales of lint. Now, in every country that you come, they will ask you how many bales of lint do you produce per hectare, or how many bales, and that determines how big your crop is in a country. So if we start in 1988, more or less, that was our biggest crop. And from there on, it was mainly to drought. If you look at the drought from those years, and you must also understand that those years, most of our cotton was produced on dry land. So to my right, to the northern side, which we call the Springbok Flats, there was up to 80,000 hectares of dry land cotton. So when that drought arrived in South Africa, that was one of the reasons cotton was down and out as well. Because there was no rain, then there's no, and actually everything that was planted didn't last. So that also contributed. Then you have the guys that was in irrigation areas like this one, that still kept on planting cotton because it was a good rotation crop for them. And then definitely the world prices came to effect. That the world prices was the one year you will have like 2002, the price was 4 rand a kilo for a farmer, and then the next year it's 2 rand 20. So, but the input cost didn't go down as well. So the input cost went up and up and up, and the harvesting cost in irrigation went up. So at the end of the day, cotton actually was close to be down and out.
Government contributions so far included upgrades to Loskop Cotton Ginnery outside Marble Hall in Limpopo, as well as investments into 11 cotton strippers and 24 cotton pickers. A cotton picking machine costs around 12 million rand, but harvests between 15 hectares and 20 hectares a day. Kempen says a farmer needs at least 1,000 hectares of cotton fields under irrigation to make the capital investment into the machine viable. Therefore, farmers often consolidate to purchase one machine to work on their respective farms. He further says that the Loskop Ginnery has the capacity to gin 45 bales of cotton per hour, with one such bale weighing around 2,200 kilograms. With retailers such as Edcon supporting the sustainable cotton cluster, an industry initiative that was created alongside government's investment, it ensures the increased use of local materials to manufacture clothing in South Africa. Kempen explains that a batch of cotton comprises around 36% cotton, 54% cottonseed, and the balance is waste, presenting alternative opportunities to use cottonseed and cotton waste in earbuds, cosmetics including lipsticks, and feed for cattle. He discusses the price for pure cotton and alternative opportunities in more detail.
We are only out of the starting blocks. We are still a long race to run, and there's a lot of challenges lies ahead. What we have to do now is to make sure that we are a more stable price for the farmer. That's specifically the most important thing, because otherwise they won't produce it. But what we've discovered during this whole exercise with the IDC and DTI, we discovered that there's a lot of byproducts that we can make out of cotton, especially the oil. Of every kilogram a farmer is delivering to me, 54% is cotton seed. Out of that cotton seed, we get oil. And then when you press it, you get your, what they call the oil cake, which is high in protein and very, very popular at your feedlots and then in cattle farming and other farming as well. So, and then the oil, we have to add value, not only cooking oil, but looking at where can that oil go specifically, because it's a high quality oil. You can use it in medical, you can use it in cosmetic stuff, like the ladies, you know, what they can use. But, and that is where we are now. The first oil processing plant, we started 2 weeks ago with the foundations, which we are very, very happy. It's an overseas company that is investing in it, and that can add value. So immediately, that is now one of our biggest hurdles that we've crossed, because it's 54% of the crop. So now we must look at the rest, the 36% that's left, because the rest is waste. The waste, you can do actually nothing. We do give it to the farmers for cattle purposes as well. But now we must look, how can we stabilize the price on the lint?
That's Creamer Media's Real Economy Report. Join us again next week for more news and insights into South Africa's real economy. And don't forget to listen to the audio version of our Engineering News daily email newsletter.